They see a guy who is saying, I'm a member of ISIS, and this is why I'm taking this hostage. And they say, no, 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 he must have psychological problems. He must be crazy. The United States government, since 2011, the counter-terror strategy, the whole plan for defeating ISIS and al-Qaeda and other terror groups is called countering violent extremism. And it is very careful never to say anything about Islam or Islamic Jihad. As a matter of fact, it was adopted in 2011 by the Obama administration. You may recall that Jolie, in introducing me, she said that I have led seminars for the FBI and the intelligence community, that's the CIA, and they told me not to say that, but I don't care anymore, and the military and various other groups. All that stopped, actually, in 2011 because the Obama administration, under pressure from groups that are tied to the terror group Hamas that is fighting against Israel, they dropped all mention of Islam and jihad from counterterror training. And now it's called countering violent extremism. So when General Dunford says little progress has been made in addressing the underlying conditions that lead to violent extremism, well, yeah. Of course, little progress has been made because you can't address underlying conditions unless you admit what they are. Jihad terrorists all around the world, the ISIS group, the al-Qaeda group, other groups like it, they always point to the Islamic holy book, the Quran, to explain and justify what they're doing. Now, whether they're getting the Quran right or not, that would lead to the obvious conclusion that if you want to understand them and devise ways to defeat them, you have to know what they're thinking. You have to know what they value. You have to know what their goals are, what their motives are. So you have to understand the way they understand the Islamic holy book, the Quran. But if you forbid that outright and say, we're not going to talk about that, then you're never going to understand the underlying conditions that lead to so-called violent extremism. And this is a problem that's right up at the top with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and with, as I showed you with the first two examples, the international media and law enforcement officials. They see what's right plain in front of their face. A guy who is saying, I want to kill Jews and screaming Allah, and they take that part out of the news. They see a guy who is saying, I'm a member of ISIS, and this is why I'm taking this hostage. And they say, no, 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 he must have psychological problems. He must be crazy. And they refuse to look at the underlying cause.